Remember I said you have to put a pillow for comfort under their knees? Okay. So, if you want to follow along, these numbers really mean nothing. I don't know why they have numbers by these things. See how it says 1. Okay, so, what is the drainage position for right here and right here? You might know what lung segment that is? It's anatomically correct. This is apical. This is anterior. Anterior. So I would raise the bed. Do you see how I'd have to lean over and that hurt my back? So I would take this one too. I'm gonna raise the bed just for comfort of myself. And that's for one reason that I'd rather have God first too. So what do you do if you have a female? I ask permission first. Like I wouldn't mind, but some people when they lay down, you just have to say, can I percuss right here? This is your anterior. And they'll either say yes or no. And I put this bed roll down. And then I can do both at the same time and see his face. But you hear that? The echoey, that's what the echoey is what you want. And you can do both at the same time. Okay, everybody's good on that one? Anterior, bed is flat, percuss between the nipple line and the clavicle. And that's right where I was. Alright, so he's healthy enough. I would probably help my patient, but I'm going to have you lean forward over the pillow. See, that'd be hard for a patient. You need 2 or you're good. Okay, so which one am I on now? Apical, you see that? And so they lean back on a pillow. So what I would want to do is the head, because like he's using his abs, he's fit, but a patient will not be in the hospital. So I'll put the bed and a pillow and say you can lean back. This is back 30 degrees. Is that better for you?
Yeah.
And then here you're percussing between the clavicle and scapula. Right across, you remember I said it goes above your clavicle, and you're percussing right here. You can't hear this one as much as some of the others, this way you're doing your angled your hand. And I can do both at the same time. I'm better over here.
You said the clavicle and scapula, correct?
Clavicle and scapula. Right over. Okay, so far we've done anterior, apical. Now posterior, he's going to lean over the pillows. And then right here on both sides, you have a scapula. So I kind of angle my hand. If I'm doing both sides, I angle them like, almost like a W. Everybody hear that? And that's utilizing my time wisely because I can do both at the same time. So angled here, angled here. Does it hurt? Feels good? Not too bad. Okay. So those are the upper lobes. We've already done all of the upper lobes.
So the one that you just did, that would be this one?
Yes, but half the time they can't get out of a bed. So they lean, the key is the terminology. They lean forward 30 degrees. That drains the posterior of the right and left upper lobe.
Okay.
Good question, because that picture throws a lot of people
Yeah, I
off.
kind of.
So you might want to right next to that, can stay in the bed but lean over pillows. Okay? What do we got left? Now we're going to do the bed flat. So go ahead and lay back. You can put a pillow right there if you want. I wash these all the time though, by the way. Okay, so now we're going to do, we'll get somebody else after this one. So you don't want to do everything. You need to watch. Okay, so again, for my back, I'm going to raise the bed. But we're going to do the right middle lobe and the left lingula. So I really hate the wording on this. If you look at the wording on the lingula, I really hate how it says, patient lies head down on the side and rotates a quarter turn back. What is that wording? Get on your side, just face that way. And that's what I usually tell them. What side's up?
Left.
His left side's up. So this is going to be the left lingula. So here, Remember when I said it might feel better to put a pillow between your knees so their knees aren't knocking and hurting? And then hand on your hip. And then, I need one, give me a pillow, please. I usually need 3 pillows on this. I put a pillow to wedge.
Which one are you on?
I'm on the left lingula. And so I can double it like this. Am I facing the patient?
No.
So that tells me I gotta put this up. You can hand on hip and just, there you go. And then I would come around to this, that's all I'm facing him. And then, now here's the key. On a guy, it's over the nipple line. This is why I picked a guy too. If not, it's mid-axillary for a female, right? For a guy, you can go over the nipple line. For a female, you're gonna have to go just alter it over here. Okay? Now the bed's not right. Nobody caught that. Here's what I think of. Middle lobe or lingula, which is equivalent to the middle lobe, but it's not. The bed is mid-Trendelenburg. Middle mid. So that's 14 inches. So with the head down. Right there. So on your exam, you'll have to have the bed in the correct spot. So mid, 14 inches up. How do I know? Or 15 degrees, and these are kind of off. It's really not on 15 degrees, but 15, close enough. And on the test, it might say 14 inches or 15 degrees, mid Trendelenburg, and then have the patient that quarter turn back, which exposes this area, and you could percuss over the nipple line for a guy, mid-axillary for a female. And then he's healthy enough. I would put the bed flat and have him turn on the other side, but he's healthy enough if you want to flip over. So same position, opposite side up to drain. Okay, so again, quarter turn back, the bed. So all he did is flip sides, right? So before it was the left lingula, now his right side's up. Now I'm percussing the right middle lobe. Guy here, female mid-axillary. Okay? Good? So now I'm going to get a different patient. I won't pick on Malcolm the whole time, but thank you for...
Maybe working that side. Got it.
That says what you're doing flat. Yeah, try that flat on that side.
Flat the bed.
Face down. It's probably not just face down. And now we're going to put a pillow for comfort for her feet. So right here, do you see where her feet are? That's a little more comfortable.
Which one we're doing?
We're going to do superior segment. I'm just going to put, you don't need it. If you just lay flat.
Looks like there's a pillow under the stomach.
I might need that in a minute. Okay, so would this be comfortable? This is superior. Remember the bed was flat, I kind of showed you that. And so here I'm going to raise the bed for comfort. I'm not tall, but I'm not short. Right in the middle. But I'm going to do it where my back is straight. And so here, right below her scapula, on both sides. So right here and here. We good on that? Does that feel good? Okay. Bed flat. Hand placement below the scapula. Percuss on both sides.
So in the picture, it has like a pillow under their
It's like 2 pillows.
their
almost.
stomach. But we don't do that in.
We actually do. I didn't on this one.
Okay.
You can stuff one pillow in there, but under your hips.
In our video, do you want us to do the pillow?
Yeah, I just was trying to be more comfortable for her. I don't think that
Okay.
feels very comfortable, but okay. So and so the only difference of this position, it is because there's a slight little deal. So technically, you should do that. I was just trying to be nice and comfortable for you. The next one, it's the same position. She don't have to move, but I have to move the bed. So remember, anything with basal. So I just did superior, same pillow under the hips, everything, except the bed is full Trendelenburg. Let me know if you get lightheaded, because I don't like in this position. But it's gonna feel like you're upside down. So just let me know. I'll pop it out right after that. And so instead of right below the scapula, what does it say for CPT? That's a lot, isn't it? Okay, so we said this is the scapula, this is the lower third of the ribs. You remember I said there's a hand placement? This is below the scapula, this is, so the lower third of the ribs is what it says on your book, on your handout. Everybody good? One hand placement below the scapula. You want to make sure there's ribs. I hope you're not ticklish because my daughter will be squirming out of the bed. You can follow the ribs. And so her ribs end right here. So I'm not over her kidneys or anything. I'm still over the rib cage. And it's called the lower third of the ribs. Okay, I'm going to leave this bed for you. Lower it. Because I don't think that feels that great. She's young and it's fine for her, but I think of how my head would feel. Okay, so now we did superior, below the hips, below the scapula, posterior basal. Now we only have a few more. What do we have left? Huh?
Anterior basal and lateral basal.
Anterior basal and lateral basal. Now I've got an easy way to remember that. So I'm going to remove this from your hips. Do you mind being patient or you want me to grab somebody else? Okay. So she's going to turn on her side now, whichever side you want. Pillow between her knees, just for comfort. And now she's going to do, this is why I needed those lungs back over here. Did I bring them back over? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you a subtle. Now the bed, anytime there's basal, the bed is full Trendelenburg, right? 18 inches, 30 degrees. So any segment with basal behind it. And so now we're going to do lateral basal. And so if you'll just make a little L with your arms. Okay, so she's making a little L with her arms right here. And I would percuss mid-axillary right here. The bed would be full Trendelenburg. The only subtle difference, I wish I had that lung. Anybody want to get the lung? I can put it up there. It's just such a subtle position change. It looks like you're percussing in the same place, but you have to remember anterior and lateral basal are so close. It's like this is lateral basal, and then if I rotate her in this position, just hold this right here. That right there is that subtle change. And so lateral is like this, your hand with that L, and anterior, you're almost making an A. Right? Almost making an A. So anterior is that subtle change, lateral's right there. Because anterior's right here and lateral's right here. Does that make sense, everybody? The key is, it looks like it's just the positioning of your patient, and the bed is full Trendelenburg. Thank you. And so that's